Dan Illman and Mike Beer, race number 8 at Aqueduct on Sunday is the $100,000 Mizdirection Stakes at 6 furlongs on the outer turf for 3-year-old fillies. 2 stakes at Aqueduct on Sunday. Nice card overall. Bet it with a new DRF Bets account. When you deposit $100 with DRF Bets, you get to bet with $250. Learn more at bets.drf.com. Let's meet the field for the Mizdirection. We are expecting the number 1 Chelsea Cloisters, who might have been the favorite in this Mizdirection, to scratch. She is entered at Keeneland on Friday, and as of this video taping, she has not been scratched at Keeneland yet, so we're expecting Chelsea Cloisters to be out. That doesn't mean Wesley Ward won't be well represented. He has the 4 May Never Know, and let's begin with May Never Know, who's only raced once on the turf, Mike. That was against the boys. I thought she ran okay that day, but she was favored, and I didn't think it was a strong field.
Yeah, I didn't either, and it's interesting because she's well bred for turf that I, anyway, would have thought she would take it forward on the grass, and she really didn't do it. She was chasing wide, going furlongs, so maybe there's a little excuse. I just wasn't thrilled with that performance. Maybe she can do better in here. I think she's pretty dangerous, but I'm going a different direction.
Let's talk about a couple of the horses trying turf for the first time, beginning with the number 2, Ujawi. Ujawi is already a stakes winner in New York on the dirt. She won the Ruthless, then she ran poorly in the Busher last time out. She's going to try grass for the first time. This formulator fact, take with a grain of salt, because this is a good trainer. Past 2 years, dirt to turf, only 1 for 23 with a 67-cent ROI. Ujawi is by Smarty Jones, who is acceptable with his first-time turf runners, winning 14% of the time, but the dam was 0 for 3 on the turf. She has foaled 2 prior runners that did not win on the turf, including a full sibling. There's just not enough turf for me to want to back this horse, even though she'll be a nice price.
Yeah, I agree with all that stuff. I mean, I didn't see the pedigree for her. I like that they're cutting her back because I think she wants to go shorter. I like that she has a little bit of speed, but I just didn't see enough pedigree to get behind this horse.
Fangirl tries turf for the first time off a game gate-to-wire score. First-time blinkers for Johnny Terranova. I like the dialed-ins on the turf. They've done surprisingly well. 16% with first-time turf runners, but the dam was unraced on the turf. And again, I look in this female family. I don't see enough turf to carry this horse, although I really like the way she moved forward second time out.
I do too. I liked her last win. That was a very game performance. You know, she's gotten more than ready on the dam side. Maybe there is enough turf to get her to take a step forward. I always want to give Terranova horses a second look. This feels like a pretty tough spot to make your turf debut, though.
While Dialed In has done some good work with his first-time turf runners, we've said many times on our various DRFTV programming that the sire Flatter just does not do well with turf runners, and that could work against the chances of the number 6, Fashion Faux Pas. Flatter only 4% winners with first-time turf runners from a pretty big sample size. There is turf on the bottom of this pedigree, however. The dam has foaled 2 turf winners. The dam is a half to a stakes place turf runner named Shana Tova and a grade 3 place synthetic runner named Iyer. Arnaud de la Cour, very sharp trainer. This filly should show some speed.
Yeah, she has a lot of speed, a big Claiborne family on the bottom. There's a lot of turf down there, just not by a very productive turf sire, so we'll see what happens. 2 wins in a row late last year sprinting on the dirt. She earned solid figures for those races, too. This filly has some talent. I don't know about turf with that Flatter on top, though.
Gets a little class relief coming out of that grade 3 forward Gal Stakes, a race that produced 3 next out winners, and that winner of the race, Feedback, is pretty good. Let's throw up the Timeform US pace projector. Always expecting a good solid pace in these turf sprints, no exception here. Fast pace is the projection from Timeform US. They have Fangirl, they have Fashion Faux Pas, they have May Never Know. Let's talk about Eye in the Sky for Mark Casse, who tried a mile 2 starts back in the Swedish Chant. Really couldn't see any excuse other than the distance. Maybe it was too far. I thought she got a clever ride from John Velasquez, controlling a moderate pace, and she just didn't stay against some really good horses. She gets some class relief here, second off the layoff. I wonder, her win 5 at 5 furlongs, 3 starts back, was against such a weak field that I don't know how to rate her in this spot.
Yeah, I don't either. You know, I'll just say that, you know, based on what she's done on turf so far, you know, I'm not blown away with her turf performances. I think this is a better race for her to run in, and I like them going shorter distances with her. I think, oh, that's fine. She should have some pace to run at, so maybe she can close into this thing and get a piece of it. I just couldn't take her on top 10. I don't like her races that much.
According to Timeform US, Golconda's going to have to come from last, and that wouldn't be surprising as she cuts all the way back from 1 1/16 to 6 furlongs. Now, she had sprint success in her native France, and she did have an excuse, I thought, in the Here Comes the Bride. A, it was the layoff, and B, she just didn't have any pace to run at the end of that race. I would expect her to move forward off of that debut in 2019. I just don't know if she's going to be coming from last to beat this field at a short price.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm using her, though, because I like them cutting back in distance. She just basically had no chance, and Here Comes the Bride. I'm not going to worry about that. I think Chad's probably doing the right thing, cutting her back in here. If they go fast in front of her, she should be running at the end. I'm using this horse.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Mizdirection Stakes. I like your Wesley Ward train runner, the 7 Moonlight Romance, a bit. I loved her turf debut going 5 furlongs. It was a maiden race. She was favored. She was supposed to win. But listen, she just dominated that field. I liked her performance over that tricky Kentucky down surface 2 starts back. And there was a lot of bumping and bouncing around in the Breeders' Cup, and she didn't have to like that very yielding going. I think her form is somewhat dirtied up. I like that she can sit from just off the pace. And maybe her price goes up based on that last running line.
Yeah, that's what I liked most about her, too. I like that she just seems like a really handy horse. At least she was last year. She wired that field first time out. As you say, really impressive. That was a weak field, but she won it the right way. The Kentucky Downs race, she made the lead in there, but when another horse wanted it, she was fine to just sit off that horse and take over. I like that she has those gears. I'm just going to give her a pass for the last one, Dan. Yielding ground. She got into a little traffic. Didn't seem that comfortable at any point. I don't care about that race. I'll give her a chance at here. She can just sit right off the pace. Maybe the trip works out.
Layoff for Queen of Bermuda, my top pick, but boy, she deserved it. She ran 11 times as a 2-year-old last year, mostly in Europe, and I think her Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint was pretty good against the boys. Unlike many European horses, she broke really well that day, and then she ended up kind of being in and among horses on the turn. She checked a couple of times. She ended up 5 wide turning into the stretch, and she stayed on. She finished an okay 4th. Now she gets Lasix for Graham Motion, who has done well with these kind of horses over the years. It'll be very interesting to see where Junior Alvarado has Queen of Bermuda placed in the early portion of this race, because she is pretty good out of the gate, but I don't want her involved in a pace duel. I think she's the one that's going to be making a strong late bid.
Yeah, I do too. I think she's dangerous in this race for all the reasons that you mentioned. I almost put her on top. I wound up going 7-9-3. I'm definitely using this horse too, though. I think she'll be running at the end.
Mike's going 7-9-3. I want the 2 closers, the 9 Queen of Bermuda, the 3 Golconda, and the $100,000 Mizdirection Stakes. Again, 2 stakes at Aqueduct on Sunday. Nice card. Get down by signing up with a DRF Bets account. Deposit $100, bet with $250. Learn more at bets.drf.com. Approximate post time for the Mizdirection, 5:15 Eastern. Best of luck.